Thank you guys. Thank you for taking time out to come here. But one important thing, and this is something I usually start sessions with, which is that people ask me, what is metaverse and why do you want to do it in the first place? सीधा जवाब पता है क्या है? As a child, I was always, even not as a child, even now I'm overly passionate, overly immersed into the world of gaming. But back in the day, there was this game, I don't know how many of you have played. This game was called GTA Punjab. And it's really, most of you might know, some of you might have heard of it, but that is my start of my love story. So in that game, what happens is you have a taxi and you steal the taxi, and this taxi is owned by a Sardarji. And जब आप टैक्सी चोरी करते हो, सरदार जी आपके पीछे आते हैं और पंजाबी में 2 गालियां दे देते हैं. जब वो गाली देते हैं ना, this is the first time I was playing a AAA game जिसमें somebody was chasing me and वो मुझे पंजाबी में गाली दे रहे थे. It felt like love. And over the years, I've played, let's say, the games like Call of Duty Himachal Pradesh या फिर Hitman Mumbai या Uncharted Tamil Nadu. I realized that जब गेम में इंडियननेस होती है, जब गेम में अपनापन होता है, जब गेम में लोकलाइजेशन होता है ना, it becomes more than a game. It feels like a way of expressing yourself. And on that note, let me just start by explaining what is metaverse, क्योंकि आजकल हर चीज़ metaverse है. मेरे जूते भी, मेरी चप्पल भी, shirt, everything is either NFT, metaverse, crypto, virtual worlds, Bitcoin, everything is metaverse. But let me just try to explain whatever I know. Let me just share that with you. So first is, as Zaki Chacha puts it, what is metaverse? Metaverse is an embodiment of internet where instead of viewing content, you're actually inside it. लेकिन इसका क्या मतलब क्या है? इसका मतलब ये है that, see, I'll try to explain it in a way that is sort of more comfortable to me, something that helps me understand stuff. 2 तरीके की दुनिया होती है. एक होती है ऑनलाइन, जैसे कल को आप कपड़े खरीदने जाते हो, आप Amazon पे जाते हो, you buy things online, it gives you convenience. आप घर बैठे हो, AC में बैठे हो, आराम से चप्पल में बैठे हो, बेड पे लेटे हो, आराम से ऑर्डर कर रहे हो, 2 दिन में आता है आपके घर में, नहीं लेना तो वापस कर देते हो. So that gives you convenience. Then there is actually going to a mall and buying a shirt or another piece of cloth, and that gives you the feel of touch, the feel of quality, the feel of fitting, कि वो कैसा दिख रहा है, कैसा मैं दिख रहा हूँ उसमें. So that gives you experience. One gives you convenience online, the other gives you experience. Something that's right in between is metaverse, where it gives you experience without compromising on convenience, and convenience without compromising on experience. वो ऐसे कि आप metaverse में एक let's say एक event पे हो, एक शो पे हो, जहाँ पे आपको अगर आपके राइट पे कोई चिल्ला रहा है तो आपको राइट ईयरफोन पे आवाज आएगी, लेफ्ट पे चिल्ला रहा है लेफ्ट ईयरफोन पे आवाज आएगी. आप आर्टिस्ट को गाली दे सकते हो, आर्टिस्ट आपके ऊपर कुछ फेंक सकता है. So everything is happening right at your mobile phone or your PC, but exactly like how it would in the real life. So that is, in my sense, what metaverse is. Now the second question is, this is very important by the way, क्योंकि ना आजकल people say crypto is metaverse, NFT is metaverse, VR is metaverse, but metaverse है क्या? Metaverse essentially is made up of 3 important components. One are virtual worlds. Virtual world जैसे कि Fortnite, जैसे कि Roblox, जैसे कि Loka, जैसे कि Play Together. ऐसे बहुत सारे virtual worlds हैं जहाँ पे आप बहुत सारे shared experiences कर सकते हो. That is one. The second are entry devices. Entry devices मतलब कि VR, mobile, PC, console, जिससे आप metaverse का access ले सकते हो. And third are services. Services could be anything from a decentralized asset ownership service like NFT, or decentralized financial service like crypto, or voice-based interaction service like Agora or Photon for matchmaking and so on and so forth. But इसमें important बात ये है कि VR is a way to access the metaverse. It is not metaverse in itself. Crypto is a service in the metaverse. It is not the metaverse itself, and neither is Fortnite. It is a way to access the metaverse. Think of it like this way, कि अगर आप गूगल क्रोम पे पूरे दिन अपने सारे एक्टिविटीज करते हो, लेट्स से आप फेसबुक चलाते हो, आप बैंकिंग करते हो, बहुत सारे एक्टिविटीज करते हो, बट गूगल क्रोम इज नॉट द इंटरनेट, राइट? It is a way you access the internet. So that is where all three of them contribute to accessing or making the metaverse, but none of it is the metaverse. अब अगला सवाल ये है कि how is it different from a video game? क्योंकि बहुत सारे लोग ये बोलते हैं यार इसमें तो ये तो बच्चों के खेलने की चीज है. हाँ बिल्कुल, बट सिर्फ बच्चों के खेलने की चीज नहीं है. वो कैसे? It is different from a video game in three aspects. One is a metaverse doesn't have a purpose. अब आप कोई भी गेम खेलते हो, PUBG खेलते हो, वो होता है कि आपको चिकन डिनर चाहिए. अगर आप GTA खेलते हो तो एक मिशन पार करना होता है आपको. आप कैंडी क्रश खेलते हो तो there's a purpose to why you're doing that activity. But metaverse is like, as Ashneer puts it, गेड़ी मारना है और कुछ नहीं जाना, आपको सीपी में जाना. आप ऐसे प्लान करके कभी नहीं जाते यार 7 बजे जाऊंगा सीपी में, 7:30 बजे समोसे खाऊंगा, 8 बजे दोस्तों से मिलूंगा, 9 बजे मेट्रो पकड़ूंगा, घर आ जाऊंगा 10 बजे तक. ऐसा नहीं होता. आप जाते हो 7 बजे मिलते हैं भाई, फिर देखी जाएगी. वो है मेटावर्स. सेकेंड इज अ गेम टेंड्स टू रीसेट. यू प्ले अ सर्टेन लेवल ऑफ द गेम, उसके बाद वो गेम रीसेट होता है. आप चिकन डिनर करते हो, आप बाकी के सारे प्लेयर मारते हो, फिर उसके बाद गेम रीसेट होता है. बट अ मेटावर्स नेवर रीसेट्स. एंड दैट ब्रिंग्स मी टू द थर्ड पॉइंट. इट इज परसिस्टेंट. हाउ इज इट परसिस्टेंट और व्हाट डज परसिस्टेंस मीन? परसिस्टेंट का ये मतलब है कि इफ मोदी जी वर टू गिव अ स्पीच इन लेट्स से सेंट्रल पार्क इन कनॉट प्लेस, वो एक बार वो स्पेसिफिक स्पीच उस स्पेसिफिक दिन पे एक बार होगी, वो कभी दोबारा जिंदगी में रिपीट नहीं होगी, वो इंस्टेंस. एंड दैट इज व्हाट परसिस्टेंस मीन्स. आप जो भी एक मेटावर्स में करते हो वो एक बार होता है, जस्ट लाइक हाउ इट इज विथ लाइफ. इट डजंट repeat itself, and that is how it separates. A game tends to repeat itself, a metaverse never repeats itself. Now, how does metaverse affect our lives? Or when will it? But answer तो ये है कि it's already started. कैसे? ये है ट्रेविस स्कॉट कॉन्सर्ट, 2020 में हुआ था. 13 million people attended this concert concurrently, और 300 million watched it afterwards. And इसमें आप मान नहीं सकते कि people from 120 countries attended this at one point. This is an 8-minute video of an artist playing in the metaverse. It earned $20 million in 8 minutes. That's the effect of metaverse. People are, by the way, getting married on the metaverse. A couple in India also got married in Tamil Nadu, but this is the bigger one. This happened in Verbella, which is a very popular metaverse in the West. People are also having their graduation ceremonies on the metaverse. This is, by the way, a reality TV show on the metaverse on Fox called Alter Ego. So a lot of things are happening on the metaverse. Barbados, a country which actually opened an embassy in the metaverse in Decentraland. अब आपको वीजा चाहिए तो आप वीजा ऑफिस नहीं जाते हो, अब वीजा ऑफिस जाते हो, बट आपका वीजा ऑफिस गूगल क्रोम से खुलता है. सो वो वैसा है. अब है हाउ बिग इज द मेटावर्स. ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट सवाल और जवाब भी है इसमें, विच इज Fortnite is probably the biggest, the most played game on Mother Earth. It has a cumulative session time of 10 million years. और मैं आपको ना perspective देता हूँ 10 million years कितना होता है. Humans have existed for 300,000 years. Fortnite has been played for 10 million years. That is how long people are playing this game. Minecraft ka map is 7.5 times or even slightly more than the size of Earth. It's a very popular world building game. And it has a size which is almost 8 times the size of Earth itself. And Roblox का session time बहुत interesting है. And this also brings me to the point where how does metaverse, or rather how will metaverse defeat the current existing social players or engagement players? To give you a reference, YouTube का total session time per user per week globally is around 54 minutes. 35 मिनट्स है इंस्टाग्राम का, 21 मिनट्स है फेसबुक का. बट यहाँ पे रोब्लॉक्स का सेशन टाइम आप पर यूजर पर वीक देखेंगे तो माइंड बॉगलिंग 164 मिनट्स है. फोर्टनाइट का 150 है, डिसेंट्रलैंड का समवेयर अराउंड 99 है. सो दैट्स हाउ लॉन्ग प्लेयर्स आर प्लेइंग दिस गेम एवरी डे. इट्स जस्ट नॉट हिट इंडिया येट, बट इट्स ऑन इट्स वे टू डू इट. Now the next question is, why hasn't India caught up to the madness? उसका रीजन है, उसका रीजन मैं ना आखिरी से पहले चलता हूँ. उसका रीजन ये है कि यूएस में ना सबसे पहले आर्केड गेम खेला दादा ने, फिर उसके बाद उनके बच्चों ने पीसी खेला, फिर मोबाइल खेला, किसी ने कंसोल खेला बीच में. बट इंडिया में क्या हुआ, वो जेनरेशन कभी आर्केड खेला ही नहीं. मेरे पापा ने कभी आर्केड नहीं खेला, मेरे दादा ने तो आर्केड देखा भी नहीं होगा. तो we have been in a generation where the first time most of Indians experience gaming is on their mobile device. So the education isn't there. And not just education, when you're playing this on mobile, most of the metaverses जो West में हैं, वो या तो VR के लिए बने, या PC के लिए बने, या मोबाइल अच्छे वाले मोबाइल के लिए बने, जो कि 30,000, 40,000 इंडिया में कॉस्ट करता है. इंडिया का एवरेज फोन बाय द वे 12,000 का है, जिसमें 2 GB रैम है, 16 GB उसकी स्टोरेज है. उसमें आधे से ज़्यादा मेटावर्स चलते नहीं है. That is why most of you haven't experienced or heard of it yet. Second बात है slow internet. India gives you one of the cheapest internets in the world, but it's damn slow. And it's okay. 5G आ रहा है, things will get sorted out probably. But सबसे important चीज़ जो आज तक आपको मेटावर्स ने नहीं दी, जो कि बहुत मेरे लिए दिल के करीब है, जो कि है लोकलाइजेशन. अब क्या होता है कि लेट्स से अभी जब आप गेम खेलते हो, हमारे लिए ना ये जो होता है डैब, ये ग्रेट है फॉर एन अर्बन ऑडियंस, बट इंडिया में ना ये चलता है, बट ये होता नहीं है आधे से ज़्यादा गेम में. These are small things. Like for example, we at Loka introduced really funny stuff. Like we introduced the Dabang, वो belt वाला hook step, या ऋतिक रोशन का होना प्यारा step, and people were mad after that, क्योंकि it resembles or it reminds you of what is India. We introduced Fab India kurtas in the world. That was a hit. We're introducing a very popular e-bike in the world. I can't name it at the moment, but I will once it gets launched. And we just did a test run, and that was a super hit. So, इसमें बात ये है कि localization plays a very, very important role. And that brings us to the next slide. What are the companies that are making an Indian metaverse or making a metaverse that's in Indian context? So these are some of the companies. Loka is definitely one of them. This is a map. By the way, this is a map of a concert that's happening, a K-pop concert, which is India's first on the metaverse, which will happen later this month. And this is in collaboration with Boat Electronics, Boat Lifestyle as it's called these days. And isme you will see for the first time celebrities taking part into this, influencers taking part into this, K-pop artists, singers taking part into this. And all of it is going to be virtual. It is going to be on mobile. And there are the rest, like Party Night, there is Yug Metaverse, there is Next Meet, there's Zippy. All of them are building an Indian version of the metaverse. अब ये मेरा favorite quote है. बहुत लोग ना ये बोलते हैं, so मैं whenever I go to people, I meet two types of people. एक जो होते हैं शायद 30 साल से नीचे, जिनको मेटावर्स में मैं बोल रहा होता हूँ उतने में समझ आ जाता है, और एक जिनको मैं मेटावर्स की एक पूरी कहानी सुनाता हूँ, फिर वो कहते हैं कहानी अच्छी थी बट ये है क्या मेटावर्स. तो I mean, but this is one of my favorite quotes. It's by a very popular a metaverse analyst, you can call her. Anyone who rejects the metaverse will be dancing as an avatar in a hip virtual club 10 years from now. Because the fact is कि 1983 में, which is the founding year of the internet, a lot of people said internet कुछ नहीं है. Internet तो एक, it was by the way a government project in MIT, and most of them said this will fail in another 5 years. When Android was launched, Steve Ballmer said ये स्मार्टफोन और ये सब बकवास है, ये चलेगा नहीं. वैसे ही आज भी कुछ लोग बोल रहे हैं. 5 साल की बात है, फिर बात करेंगे दोबारा. Thank you so much. You've been a lovely audience. Would love to answer any and all questions that you might have. Thank you. Hi.
Can we have a mic here?
think it's really fantastic. Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
And I don't hope I'll be dancing in 10 years. I hope I'll be dancing very soon on that virtual world.
I'm sure.
So it's mostly around maybe the compute or maybe the infrastructure, right? So we know that internet has grown significantly. I think the experience has grown significantly in the last couple of years as well. So my question is around, in your experience, most of the service providers, let's say cloud service providers, are predominantly built, especially from the cost perspective, on resource utilization based upon compute and storage, generally. So this requires huge bandwidth. That's what I can understand.
Yes,
And
bandwidth and low latency.
And when you talked about the session time being so big, this means the requirements is going to be significantly high. So in your experience, have the existing infrastructure providers, have they kept up with the pace and the development on the metaverse, or are we looking for maybe another players in the area, as for instance, what it deals with Web3 or Bitcoins? You don't have the existing better known players in the market. You have more private networks that are supporting it. So what's your view around the infrastructure and the cost perspective?
I think two things here. One is India is different in different ways, right? So I think these metaverses are great for the Western infrastructure, but they've never built it for the Indian infrastructure. So we will never know if these guys will be successful here, because they're not even focusing here. So for example, one of the things that we did was we created a under 200 MB app, and that has low poly graphics so that it renders faster, and it operates in an Indian infrastructure. But these guys have never done it. But coming back to your questions, I believe that once 5G kicks in, and that is the inflection point in the Indian metaverse journey. Once 5G kicks in, you will see metaverse giving you experiences which will be at par to what you see with Fortnite or a Roblox at the moment. But will it be better than that? Probably not in the next 5 years. Because US has almost half of the latency that we have in India. And by the way, latency is very, very important. It's a ping time. Ping time is when a signal goes from one place to another, how much time does it take from A to B? So if low latency is not there, then what happens is, if they're playing a game, one guy shoots another guy, and then the other guy doesn't even know because uska internet abhi bhi load ho raha hai. So that is where India is at. But I believe in 5 years, we will be where Fortnite is today. And maybe in the next 5, we will catch up to the pace and probably be what Fortnite will be in 10 years.
You're saying you can dance only in 10 years then?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think you can dance in 5 years, but it's just on a different device, not a console.
Hi, so this is kind of a new concept for me, so that's why I'm trying to understand. The question is very basic. You mentioned that there are some concerts being held on Metaverse. So do these artists actually, are they performing in live? Is the feed going into Metaverse? Or are they like using instruments? I don't know. How does it work?
Great question, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you what happened with the Travis Scott concert, and that's the best example here. See, every company understands that when a concert happens, there are multiple linkages there. Like, an artist needs to perform at his place, and that feed needs, if it's live, for example, and that feed needs to go to a server. That server needs to get accessed by the user's device. So there are multiple internet connections that are involved here. So, and multiple things can go wrong, hence. So what happens in the real world is, when the Fortnite concert, the Travis Scott concert was created, it was created in 8 months, and then pushed as an update on the mobile phone, which you didn't know about. The concert already existed on the app. It just got active on the day of the launch. So you felt like it's live and you're jumping with Travis Scott at the moment, but it's already recorded on your device, already pre-stored. So that's how things function at the moment. But once speeds get better, devices get better, it will be a more live experience.
And can we access metaverse through like our iPhone and
Absolutely.
a better
Mobile,
Android
PC, console, VR.
Great.
Yeah.
Thanks.
My question is like related to how we can use this metaverse thing in enabling people to learn the business. Like as अगर मैं आपकी बात से अभी समझूं तो it is more into gaming, and when we say gaming, so it is more more made for a people who are below 25 years in the age, right? We are in tech HR, so from a HR perspective or a industrialist perspective, when I want to use this technology to make my people enable to learn the thing, enhance their experience, so what is your thought on it, and how you, like, when you are expecting that these things will be in a business, like HR, training, recruitment, PMS, or employee experience. So how you see the things when these things will be going into the
I think that's a great question. To answer that question, what is important is understanding what does metaverse give over real life, right? So life का problem क्या है? Life का problem है traffic. कि मेरे को एक जगह से दूसरी जगह जाना, so I have to pass through a traffic, a time delay, even location delays. Like for example, I can't be in Mumbai at the moment, just like that. I can't be in two places at once. Even an area like this has a limitation. Only X number of people can fit in, and that is what metaverse solves for. And coming to your question specifically, so we are currently working with an HR company who wants to build a system where they can interview possibly, or rather conduct a recruitment drive for possibly limitless amount of people. And that is what the capability of the metaverse is. Now that's also a limitation, I'll come to that later, but the capability is कि आप जो life की limitations है ना, कि एक जगह पे एक समय पे एक जगह पे रह सकते हो, multiple जगह नहीं जा सकते, time लगता है, that is something that metaverse solves for.
Yeah, Krishnan, one more question.
Yeah.
Around 4 years back, I downloaded that Second Life, logged in.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Decentra.
Yeah.
I tried all. Okay, I used to have some properties also, little bit. But then we dropped it because we are not able to develop that capability on our devices, and neither on the network, the latency that you talked. So what we are expecting in next 2 years, 3 years, we would be able to solve?
See, I think the devices that used to cost, let's say 17,000, 18,000 at some point are now available at 10,000, 8,000, right? And the speeds that existed 3 years ago is slightly better now. So what we've actually achieved successfully is trying to create a higher computational power device. What we lack at the moment is the infrastructure in terms of internet and latency to operate it. That needs to be solved. I think the device problem automatically will get solved because companies are making faster, cheaper mobile phones every day.
Okay, thank you.
Krishnan, one question. The technology that we use now mostly has, mostly uses two senses, auditory and visual. Now, if as a learning and development manager, if somebody wants to implement it in a, a manufacturing setup, so is there any work being done on kinesthetic aspect?
Absolutely.
So that,
I mean,
the
you
torque
hear
and
about
whatever is
haptic, you please complete.
Yeah, so, mostly the thing is that, if I'm pressing a button or something, I don't know how much pressure to be, put there. So these type of things actually may lead to some type of, misadventures. So is there anything being done in that space, kinesthetic?
So yes, I mean, so in terms of one of the things that is overhyped about life is reality, because reality allows you to, what is real is what you perceive through 5 senses. What if I can recreate the 5 senses? Then it'll be very hard for you to figure out what is real, what is virtual. And in that respect, companies are working towards haptic gloves, haptic even vests. So a company has developed a vest where if somebody punches you, you'll actually feel the punch. Obviously, आप tone down कर सकते हो क्योंकि obvious, right? So, but companies are working on vests, companies are working on gloves, on obviously VR glasses and stuff. I think we should be seeing a whole lot better version of maybe a 4 cents or a 3 cents metaverse in the next couple of years.
Hi,
All right,
can I just take one question, please?
I'm so sorry. He's going to
No,
be here
there's a
itself.
disagreement because the room full of quite a few
I know
professionals.
everyone is very enthusiastic.
You cannot
right
say
now, but
metaverse is without a purpose. You cannot say it will be in perpetuity. You cannot say many of the things that you said because then it makes no business sense to invest in it. Please look up Kong Zen. That's a Chinese metaverse part. There is something called Zepeto from South Korea. Just because we don't speak those languages doesn't mean those guys are not working on the metaverse.
Oh, they are.
Picking up Fortnite and other stuff which is more gaming gave the impression to others that metaverse is just about the gaming part. It is not. It's much more about manufacturing. It's much more about people connect. And it would benefit if the discussion is not simplified to the extent that it was. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.